Welcome back to another Ladylorian show tonight. We are here to talk about the 13th Mandalorian episode and just discuss about what we felt about it, some dislikes, some likes. So let's get right into it.
Oh my goodness. There is so much this week.
We have a lot to say.
Yeah. I just rewatched the episode like right before we got on because my first watch of the episode was 3 o'clock in the morning.
Oh my gosh. Me too.
Because I could not risk getting it spoiled this week.
I got spoiled so hard. I gave up at one point. I
Oh
was like,
yeah, you didn't watch it till like 3 days after.
yeah,
Oh my goodness.
that's on getting
Yeah.
distracted.
Spoilers were crazy. I literally
Mhm.
I feel like I pressed play like 5 minutes after the episode was released and I already saw people tweeting about it. I was like, are we seriously doing this right
Yeah, it was really
now?
bad this week.
Yeah.
But rightfully so. I mean, I get it.
There was
but
a lot to
It was a lot.
process right off the
Oh.
bat.
Yeah.
Can we talk about my most important topic, in my opinion, his name.
Yeah.
I think being Yorito Jaren was a perfect.
Juan being your Yodita
And I'm just so hurt. I contacted Dave Filoni. He said,
He said
"It
no.
is what it is."
He's
Just-
what it is.
John was like, "I don't care."
they threw away your request, Rose. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
It just really
I'm
hurt.
probably
I
landed
just
in the
felt
pile.
like as a fan, I wasn't heard, you
Mm.
know, and I guess I'll have to deal with that. Deal with the
Didn't-
trauma.
Yeah. Didn't it get spoiled like 3 months ago?
Oh,
Did
Do you guys
it?
remember that? I remember seeing
No.
something.
No.
I remember
I don't remember.
Really?
No.
I
It-
do. No,
it
you
was
finish.
like, I want to say it was around the time of the behind the scenes. Like one of the last episodes, some thing came out that his name was Grogu. And everyone was like, "Pfft, it's not Grogu. It's not going to be Grogu. That's so dumb. Like, that's like the worst thing ever." And then as soon as that word came out of Ahsoka's mouth, I was like, oh.
I literally do not remember that. I clearly like I think the theme the last few Ladylorians episodes has been Kenzie does not pay enough attention on Twitter because y'all just talk about like, oh, this happened on Twitter, like got released, and I'm like, what?
Well, I remember it came out and then everyone was like, "Get that stuff off my timeline. I don't want to see that. I don't want to be spoiled." But I read it. I looked at it. I didn't share it, but I saw it and I was like, "Oh, it can't be true." But
I didn't have like a name idea. Like I hadn't like
Mhm.
a lot of people like had their own, I guess, ideas. Obviously Rose, but other people too. Or like even people who didn't have ideas. I just saw so many people talking about his name and how like they didn't like it or whatever.
yeah, people were
Um,
dramatic about it. I feel like just because it didn't start with a Y, everyone was like, "Well, it can't be his name. Like, there's no way. That's the worst name ever."
it has to be Yorito. It's the
Has
only
to be
thing that makes
Yorito.
sense. No,
Yeah.
I think there was people like, especially in one of my group chats, like one of the most prominent ones, except for Chris Ladylorians, they were like, "Yo, there's spoilers on the TL." Like a week before that, like no, like the week of the episode came out, and people were
Really?
like, "Yeah, really upset." I think you saw. I don't know if you. I think
I
you said
remember-
something, Dodge.
I remember people were talking about it, but I never saw anything.
Yeah, no, I
Yeah.
never saw any spoilers, but people were like, if you post a spoiler, you will get blocked. But I also think it really didn't catch on because I think it was posted on Reddit, like most things are.
Mhm.
It was deleted, and so people were like, it's probably a lie. So I have no idea what this supposed
Yeah.
like spoiler was.
The thing with Reddit spoilers is like they're either so far off that you're like, what? Or like they're correct, but because everything else is usually fake, like you think it's fake.
Mhm.
And then it ends up being true, and you're like, oh my gosh, because that's what happened with Rise of Skywalker.
Yeah.
Like the whole plot of the movie was out like 3 months before the movie even released. And everyone was like, there's no way that's like what's happening. Like that cannot be the actual plot. And then the movie came out and we all got clowned, and it was the exact plot that Reddit said it was 3 months before. So
I read it.
yeah, Reddit's an interesting place for Star Wars spoilers because you just like never know if it's real or
Yeah.
fake. And I just take it as like, I don't want to read it. I don't want to see it because it's either going to disappoint me one way or another.
Yeah.
So,
I just want to know who's breaking their NDR or whatever, those contracts so hard that they're just like, I'm gonna tell my friend and they're gonna post it on Reddit and it's gonna be okay.
I
Like I
know.
just
I would be so
Okay.
afraid of like breaking
Yeah.
the NDA because
Especially with
think-
Disney.
Disney is not afraid
would
to come
never
for
come back.
people.
Okay, but what do you guys think about the name? Like, okay, it's not Bean, but like it's okay, but I don't know. I'm not a G person name, I'm like it's too
Like-
close to J names. Oh my god, my dad. Sorry, Dad.
Is your dad named Jeff?
His name's Jason. Dad, I'm sorry. Oh my god, and my uncle. Sorry, uncle.
Okay.
We're
Well,
tagging Rose's family now. Ooh, my car's name's Jeff. So don't attack J names
oh my goodness.
Is it Jeff with a G or Jeff with a J?
with a J.
Okay, good, because Jeff with a G would be a sin.
I do not
Jeff.
understand people who name their kids Jeffrey with a G. Why? What is the purpose?
That's a
I don't
thing.
know.
Yes.
Yeah.
It looks like Joffrey, but it's
They want
Jeffrey.
to be quirky. They want to be someone new and
We're not like
experienced.
other
We're-
parents.
We're not like other frat boys. We're unique.
Oh my god.
We're Jeff with a
My
G.
official thoughts on Grogu are that like I guess it like makes sense. I mean, no names in Star Wars really like make sense. Like I just feel like
Yeah.
every like non-human character especially like their names are so weird. Like they just pull
Yeah.
consonants and letters out of a hat, I'm pretty sure, and like put them together.
Yeah.
And then I had posted about Grogu's name and how like people are being so dramatic about it, and I'm like, what did you like expect? And someone had like brought up a really good point about how like if they named Yoda today, like people probably would be like, Yoda's such a dumb name, like
Mhm.
so
I don't know. It just like I don't know why. I was like, wow, that feels like such an adult name. Like
I know.
Grogu. Yeah.
It's
I
like
was
naming
like-
your kid like Martha.
Yeah, like you don't find like a 4-year-old Martha. Like you don't find a 50-year-old
friend
Grogu.
named
But
Martha.
I don't know. But when Din would say his name and he would perk up.
Oh my gosh.
He
it was
said, "That's
thinking-
my father, right?"
That's
Um,
my father.
Can we talk about a very controversial topic on Twitter currently?
Oh, I love controversial.
Yeah, the trees and the planet, like, why were they all destroyed? Like, let's get it done. No, I'm kidding.
The fires of California.
Okay, well, but we'll
we
get there.
okay.
No, guys, the most important thing that has happened in this episode, the Yaddle Erasure. Hashtag put Yaddle back in Star Wars.
Resurrect Yaddle. Oh, the queen. Yeah. Did it? Okay, well, I guess Ahsoka probably didn't see her, but the queen.
no. I think timeline wise, like Ahsoka probably didn't know Yaddle, but a bunch
Mm-mm.
of people were freaking out about.
Oh my
There was 2 of them on the Jedi
It was-
Council.
If you were a true Jedi, you would have known.
Like, oh my god. But I just thought that was a funny thing that the internet kind of freaked out about this week was them not talking about Yaddle.
Okay, but now we know that he's not a clone.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that brings up a very important question.
Mhm.
How is he who he is? How did he get here? How was he born?
I don't know.
He was just stolen. He was like a
Is
Jedi.
it Yoda's or like is there a whole entire planet in species? And
Yeah.
if so, where can we find it? Not that I'm gonna steal any babies, but if I were to per
Mm.
se commit that crime, where would I need to go?
in theory.
And
Yeah, in theory, in theory.
Yeah, I don't know. I forgot what their planet's called.
it's-
I don't
wait,
think we've
we know
ever-
the planet?
we don't know the planet, do we?
Yeah,
I
we
don't think
do.
so.
Hmm.
I don't know. We'll look it up.
We don't know
Um,
the planet.
I thought we
God, I was
do.
gonna
I
bring
thought it's
something
like I thought it's like a grass swamp planet.
Are you talking about the one from
No,
Empire
not
Strikes
that
Back?
one. Actually, it might have been his planet, but I don't think it was his home planet.
That's not because that's not
Yes,
his
it
planet.
is.
What are you talking about?
Oh, just kidding. That was a lie.
Exactly. We do not know Yoda's planet. I did a lot of research on this during
I'm sorry. God, oh my gosh.
I had I was gonna bring up a semi-important point, but a semi-funny point, and I've forgotten it.
Oh no.
So a moment of silence for forgotten point. Maybe I'll remember it.
In your moment of silence.
Yeah. It was before we brought up Yaddle.
So we know he's not a clone. Oh yes, Rose.
Okay. Which Jedi do you think Grogu will be taken to? Not that I'm choosing based on how hot I think said person is, but hear me out. I just think should be trained by a nice ginger man.
Oh my God. I would sell my left arm and right leg maybe to see Cal Kestis in live action. Like, okay, because it's not like they have obviously Cameron, like they have him to play him. He's an actor already.
Might as well.
It's perfect. Like they already have somebody who can play him because he literally is modeled after Cameron. So I'm just saying that
they should take the opportunity and run with it.
It would be great. I think yes. Me thinks yes.
Misa thinks it's a good idea.
However, I also think that we have a pretty good chance of seeing Ezra.
Yes.
From Rebels, because especially with the Thrawn mention, like yeah.
So not that we think a certain actor will be Ezra Bridger. Did I say his last name right?
Yeah.
Okay. But Raul, I think.
If you're listening to this podcast,
we know what you're doing. We know what those hints mean.
We know what those tweets mean.
We'll get you to say it. We know you're gonna be Ezra. Just say it already, baby.
Yeah, I don't know. That is, I mean, I hope it's him, especially after all the teasing he's done. Like, it would be so iconic if it was him.
Yeah, but looks like him.
Only time will tell. Well, yeah, we don't really know what. I mean, we don't really know what Ezra's gonna look like at this time period because
I think it's 6 years after Rebels, if I'm correct.
Yeah, and Ezra was like a teenager during Rebels.
He so like I think someone said he would be in his early 20s by the time of The Mandalorian.
So we don't know what like adult Ezra is gonna look like because he's still baby in Rebels.
We'll see.
I know a lot of people say Leia might be the Jedi, but I think the big issue with is that she's setting up the New Republic, and I think it's the New Republic, right? I don't want to sound stupid. Yeah, okay. So I think that like that would be her priority, and like if like Mando was to show up with the kid, she'd be like, I have my own kid. I've got like a whole republic to take care. Wink wonk, to take care of. So
yeah, well, own kid.
The whole the Carrie thing.
Take care of is strong.
Yeah, I have to sneeze.
I want to bring up Thrawn. Did I say that right?
Yes,
Thrawn. So with how Ahsoka looked this episode, a lot of people are speculating on how Thrawn will look. There's been many jokes about it, many that I giggled at. But do you think
another Smurf dude?
Oh, and many people were speculating on what actor it was gonna be. Many were pulling MCU actors. I don't know why. Because I also feel like a lot of the times, because like George Lucas had this thing of, you know, you take actors that have never been really seen before, and like that's kind of changed over the years. But I feel like if it's okay, first of all, it might be hard to recognize said person because they're gonna be blue with red eyes, so it's just gonna, you know, completely change who they are. We might not recognize them, but I feel like it's gonna be someone we haven't seen before, just for a little spice. You know,
yeah,
it's not. I don't think it's gonna be an MCU actor. Like, honestly,
no. I hope. I mean, I can see like the comparisons people are making, I guess. However, like I do hope that it's like somebody that isn't as like hugely famous.
Yeah. Because this is the Pedro Pascal show. Okay.
Period.
I want to say it out there. This is for Pedro and Pedro only.
Oh,
ain't no one else. The child, maybe.
That's my argument for this podcast, but we'll
You
get to
guys-
that.
We'll get
You
to
guys-
it. Don't worry.
Do you guys think that there's any chance that Jedi is Luke?
People are talking about it, and everyone's like, Sebastian Stan, he's coming as Luke. I don't know.
But Sebastian
It
Stan
makes
would be way too
sense.
old
no.
to play Luke, because Luke would be in his 20s though. He would.
How old is
Sebastian
Sebastian
Stan
Stan?
can wear some makeup and a wig, and I think he could pull it.
Listen, I have loved
Sebastian's, like,
Sebastian Stan since the
7.
Gossip Girl days. So
Wait, he was in Gossip Girl?
he played this guy named
Oh.
Carter Basin.
Okay, but like I hope okay, if it's Luke, that does make sense because he would probably be starting at the Jedi training again. But I don't think Luke would be a good Jedi trainer for Grogu because, as Ahsoka said, he has too strong of an attachment, and I just don't think because Luke has his own issues. He's maybe got some trauma from the war or whatever. Seeing his dad die in front of him might be a little scarring.
Just a little bit.
Well,
But also as much as like everyone, like some people would love for Sebastian Stan to be Mark Hamill, and like Mark Hamill would probably love it. I just, once again, I don't want a huge actor coming in and stealing the spotlight because
yeah,
it is
no,
the
I
Pedro
agree.
Pascal show, as I said previously.
Yeah, and like I agree with that just in the terms of like Luke too in general. Like even if it's not Sebastian, if it's just somebody else playing him, like bringing Luke Skywalker into something is like a lot. Like the show is The Mandalorian. Like we don't need everyone to like focus on Luke because honestly, I think
Yeah.
ultimately, my personal take on what's gonna happen is that like the child is gonna stay with Mando. Like so,
Stay with his father as he should.
I don't know if they would like even bring Luke in for something like where the Jedi is still probably not going to take the child.
Maybe like a Boba Fett, he's off in the distance.
Yeah,
That's
I
all
mean,
we get.
I'm thinking like I don't know. I have no idea what they're gonna do because I'm wondering if this is like my personal like thoughts about this is like if they're gonna bring somebody in who they can keep on the show and it becomes like a trio. And like that person travels with Mando and like helps train the baby and stuff, like because I think like Mando is obviously gonna want the kid to be trained, but also the kid is gonna want to stay with Mando. So I'm like, I don't really know.
And that's when his mother, Omera, steps in.
Oh,
Queen.
Queen! I miss her.
We're just gonna need a bigger ship because she's got her own kid. She can't leave her kid for another kid.
Leave
That'd
Winta. Go to Grugo. Only Grugo.
Also, I would like to officially
Grogu.
say it that I'm only calling him Go-Go from now on.
It's so weird. It's like if you don't like think about it, you're not gonna say it right.
Yeah, it's
Wait,
pretty easy to
can
trip
can
over.
I call him Bean then?
Yeah, if you want.
Okay, Rose. You can have that moment to shine.
Anyways, we haven't really talked about the elephant in the episode, aka
The thickness that is Pedro Pascal. Oh,
Ahsoka
okay.
Pedro
Tano.
Pascal.
Wrong one. Sorry.
Flips. Don't worry, we'll get to that. Ahsoka, how do we feel? I thought, okay, personally, I thought she was great. I really liked it. I thought it was like different. It wasn't like a spit-in image of it, but I kind of liked it. I liked that it wasn't that way.
My thing is like my first watch, I was like obviously tired, but I was like a little off put by it. Like it didn't feel like this Ahsoka we had last seen.
Mhm.
I mean, obviously though, like we don't know what happened between Rebels and Mando, but yeah, I was a little off put because I was like, it just like doesn't seem like Ahsoka that we'd seen before. And there were just a few things, but I was just now rewatching it and I was like looking, and obviously like Ahsoka has grown over time, but also like there were like mannerisms in the episode that I noticed this time I didn't notice the first time, like when that are just so Ahsoka that like she like the when Mando is taking the little ball and he's like trying to get the kid to take it, trying to get Go-Go to take it, and she goes and he like calls him kid and then she goes Grogu, like the way she said it was like so like you just saw that Ahsoka that we knew. And so I mean it really did show like that Rosario did like study, like she did put in the work to know like Ahsoka, but also to like show us like more grown up Ahsoka, a different Ahsoka that's in a different time period. And again, I think everyone's gonna have their own opinions and takes on it, but at the end of the day, none of us are Dave Filoni, and none of us can change it. And like, I think like people that are complaining like don't think about like Ahsoka is his kid. Like Ahsoka is that man's baby. Like he wouldn't have done it if he didn't think it was done right.
Yeah. There was like a lot of moments where like the way she looked at things, or it was just like you can see it. And there was also times where I was like, I don't know if Ahsoka would say that in that way or like do that certain thing. But it's also like those little snippets made me like reminded me like, oh, this is Ahsoka. Like this is Ahsoka. We know Ahsoka. But it was also a good separation of the animation and the live action and made me like love both of them and not like pick down one of them in order to bring the other one up, if that makes sense.
I'm gonna be honest with you. This episode was really hard for me to focus on. I think it was, like I mentioned earlier, the scenery. I don't like it when episodes are dark for like for any show. But it's just like I noticed like with her Laku's like the crinkliness in it, that really threw me off. And like, you know, the size difference compared to Rebels to now. They said it was like because they were counting in the actors' movements, but then like in the 2002 Clone Wars, like, oh god, who's the Jedi that has
Shakti.
has like really long Laku's, and like the actress was able to pull off. Then again, when you think about it, the actress was slightly more in the background. It didn't have to do a flip over the tree, you know, and all that. I thought it was kind of interesting because I've yet to see Rebels or Clone Wars, so it's interesting to see her in real life. I thought her lightsabers were pretty cool. I was like, yeah, Dad, she's had 3 lightsabers. And he goes, why? And I was like, well, if someone had watched Rebels, has she had 3 lightsabers? I think that's accurate. 4?
Yeah.
I was off by 1. Sorry, everyone.
She had her original set in Clone Wars, and then in the last episode of Clone Wars, we see her drop those in the snow.
Oh yeah.
And then when she comes back in Rebels, I don't know if they explain it in the show. I'm like just now watching Rebels, so I haven't like I just got to the part where she's in it now. But I don't know if it's in the show or in the book where she explains it, because there is an Ahsoka book as well that covers the gap between Clone Wars and Rebels. So I'm not sure if it's in the book or in the TV show, but it does get explained that she takes her new lightsabers from, I can't remember, like it was an Inquisitor or something like that. But she takes her lightsabers from a bad person and she purifies the crystals, and that's how she has the new white ones that we see in Rebels and in now the Mandalorian.
Doesn't she have one more in the Clone Wars, a single one in the Clone Wars movie? Doesn't she
in the
only
Clone
have
Wars?
one?
I haven't watched the Clone Wars movie in a while. So
I literally just watched it yesterday, so that's why I'm hold on, let me see. It might just be one of her 2 set.
Yeah, it might just be one of her double sabers, but she definitely
Wait, is she in the Clone Wars, like the Clone Wars movie, like the 2000 version?
There's a Clone Wars animated Clone Wars like movie.
It's second
movie to watch.
The second movie in the prequels is Attack of the Clones, not Clone Wars.
Oh, I'm stupid.
No.
What a surprise, though. Brain cells don't got them. But yeah, so I explained that to my dad. He didn't get it. And I was like, my dad goes like, well, Luke didn't have 2 lightsabers. I was like, yes, he did, Dad. He had Anakin's, and then he got his own.
Yeah.
And then my dad was like, oh yeah.
I mean, Rey.
I think commune. Oh yeah, Rey had 2. But I think costume-wise, I think I would just once I see a flaw, I see a flaw for the rest of the episode.
Yeah.
Okay, what do we think about
the what?
Okay, we're just gonna not say the metal.
The best car.
The best
car. Best car.
Oh my gosh. Oberyn Martell coming.
No, don't say it. Don't say it. We know how that ends.
Oh my god.
I know Pedro was whispering in Favreau's ear, and he was like, "I really want a spear. I need a redemption arc."
Um,
a spear.
If you
Yeah.
haven't seen Game of Thrones or know what happens to Pedro Pascal's character, you
just watch the clips.
just watch
there's-
the clips, and then you'll know why he keeps the helmet on.
There is a 40-minute compilation of just Oberyn Martell's scenes on YouTube. Feel
Yeah.
free to look it
Not
up.
that we know of that or
It's not
anything.
G-rated, just FYI. Don't watch
Yeah,
it.
don't watch it with your kids.
Yeah, you might want to
Or if
skip
you're
to
a
the end
kid.
where he
Just
may
skip
or may not.
just skip to the last like 4 minutes.
Yeah.
Well, I would say even the ending is probably not appropriate for.
Oh,
Yeah,
it's
okay, let me
really
fix that.
gory.
If you are under 13, just don't watch. Don't watch.
Even if
You
you're
shouldn't
under
even be consuming anything Game of Thrones related. Let's be
Yeah,
honest.
just don't watch. We'll summarize. He dies. Okay, and
Violently.
Yeah,
very
not
painfully.
yeah.
And that's why you keep your helmet on, kids.
But he does have a spear, and so call back.
Call back. I'm interested on it. I want to see him train with it, and then hopefully wield the dark saber.
I want him to
like not him
do
to keep
spinny
it, but
moves.
just like to fight with it. Oh,
Yeah, it would be cool. It would be definitely cool to see. I mean, I'm just like he keeps just gaining stuff, and I'm
I know.
like, where are you gonna keep all this, bud? Because like already,
Your
when I
ship is tiny.
when I watch the episodes already, my brain does like okay, he has the pulse rifle on his back. Does he also have the jetpack, or does he
Yeah.
have to like decide which one he's bringing? Like,
Yeah. And
Yeah,
then
actually-
he'll leave the ship without his pulse rifle, and then all of a sudden he's fighting someone with his pulse rifle. So obviously he just teleported into his hands.
It's
Yeah.
just he snaps his fingers and it just
Yeah.
so I
he's
do be thinking about this. I'm like, where does he?
Where did
what?
that come from? But
yeah,
it's fine.
the Mandalorian's line. He's actually a force wielder.
Mm.
You just don't want to tell everyone yet. I
That's
don't know how
secret.
no one sensed it yet, but
Mm.
secretly he just makes things appear in thin air. One might say he's a space wizard.
Mm.
Mm,
With his
yeah.
laser swords.
Yeah,
my
it's so
gosh.
funny.
Oh my gosh. Can we talk about like, okay, so when Ahsoka first comes out to Din, like, and she starts, attacking him with the
That was
lightsabers,
so
and he
cool.
just goes with his best car. Like, do you think he like knew it would work, or he was just hoping?
He's like, well,
Well, I feel like his train of thought was like, well, it protects me from the blast of like guns, so might as well.
Like, I mean, I guess that was probably his only line of defense, but like, that would be so scary.
oh, he was sweating underneath that vest car.
Oh my
He's like,
God.
I know Bo-Katan.
Literally, the like panic in his voice.
in his voice.
He's like, Ahsoka Tano. I'm like,
Bo-Katan sent me.
And then she just goes, "Who's that?
literally,
Oh,
oh my
it's
God.
about that guy.
What's that little green gremlin?"
He looks too familiar.
Oh, okay. Can we mention how we just mentioned? Oh, yo, this thing, it's for Locke. Like,
Yeah.
also to bring it up again, that poor baby has a concussion. No wonder it didn't work the first time.
I was
This
thinking.
man
I was literally thinking
bouncing
about you.
against the Beskar, like he's all
That-
messed up in there.
that shot where he's just that shot where he's like banging across his side
Oh my
for
goodness.
like 3 strides. I was like, oh my gosh, Rose is quaking in her seat right now.
Literally, yeah. Every time I see that, I'm like, that poor baby. Go is gonna have brain damage.
He's not gonna last to 100.
When you say go-go, I think of the yogurt.
I think of Pedro when he was a go-go dancer.
Oh my God. Well, I could call
Um,
him Gogurt, but I like Go better.
Okay, I noticed something. So I think this is why the planet's desolate. I think there was factories in the background. Like I could see factory
Smoke.
spills and then smoke pluming. So what are they making there? And like also
Weapon.
what?
Yeah.
Oh,
That's
well,
my-
thanks. Some
that's
kind of weapon. Also,
That's my guess. I don't know.
question: what were those weird giraffe like things in the background?
I don't
'Cause
know. Those look like giant tadpoles. I was like, wow, they have legs.
They looked like the exact same thing.
You'll get there. What?
Kalu, guy who died at the last episode.
Queel.
Yeah. He it looks like the things he trained.
Did you just say Kawu?
I've told you I can't talk.
Stop bullying Rose publicly on the internet.
That's who you mean.
Why are
He
you
was
doing
with us
to
for like
me?
half of season 1 and you don't know his name?
His name is kind of hard to say, okay?
Will.
Okay, I have to. I'm gonna be honest with you. I hear them say the words, but my brain don't process it. I'm just like,
Okay. They're tough words.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah.
Dodge.
Sorry.
no dodge.
It's not the podcast if Rose and I don't fight each other. So
Yeah,
Oh my goodness.
like this all the time, everyone. This is how we first became friends. We just attacked. Actually, I think we were nice, and then I was just like, all right, I know her long enough. Let's go.
Ladylorians, mom and dad, and our problem child.
Yeah, it's literally can I talk about I'm gonna get serious.
Oh,
Serious
no.
right now.
Okay,
I am
dear
so
Lord,
I-
baby
okay,
Jesus.
Listen, I had to keep my mouth shut on the timeline for like I haven't tweeted anything about the episode or anything because I'm
'cause
very
you know-
opinionated about it because I loved Ahsoka. I loved how she was shown. I loved that they showed her early because I wasn't expecting that, and it made us get like a full episode of her, which I liked, and it made me feel like okay, she's not coming back in this season, or if she is, it's not like till the very end, right?
Yeah.
So I was fine with that. But I'm just I'm so frustrated because it's becoming the Clone Wars and the Rebel
Yes.
school, and like it's making me very mad because in the couple episodes where Din finds out that he's in a cult, right? His whole life has been a lie. I was like, man, in this next episode, he's gonna be debating on everything that he like has been doing his whole life, and he's gonna be struggling. Was he? No, he was. He didn't even like. We're getting no character development of Din, and I love Din. This is why I love the show, and we don't see that. Like we're seeing like this development between Din and the child, but we don't really get to know Din.
Yeah.
Of all this stuff that's
Yeah.
happening, and it's frustrating me because after Thrawn was right, that's his name.
Yeah.
After he was like named in the episode, I was like, you got to be kidding me. Another one is coming
Mhm.
in.
Well, personally, I don't think that the Thrawn thing is gonna be a Mandalorian thing. I'm thinking that's a setup for something outside the show.
Rebels
Yeah.
is coming back.
Yeah, I think it's something that because like Bo-Katan, like her plot line is I think she's coming back
Yeah.
because she's intertwined with Moff Gideon. But Thrawn doesn't have anything to do with Mando.
But
Mhm.
Ezra comes into the picture.
Yeah. But
And
I
that's
think
why I'm like,
yeah, but
I
I
think if Ezra comes into the picture, Thrawn will. But if we get Cal Castus, he won't.
yeah, I mean we'll have to see. I think that there is a way though that it could be Ezra and Thrawn isn't in the thing, that Thrawn is being brought back just as a way to explain how Ezra also got back.
mhm.
If that's who is going to be the Jedi that shows up at the temple. But we'll have to see.
And then
Yeah.
like I liked how you said that you don't think I think okay, this is what I think is gonna happen. I think the child is going to like reach out to the Force or whatever.
Yeah.
But then he's gonna change his mind and then like be with Din or whatever. And then like halfway or a couple episodes into the 3rd season, then all of a sudden this Jedi comes in and was like, oh, I'm here to like someone reached out to me, and then he's like, oops, psych,
Whoa,
don't really need
Who?
that anymore. Who?
I don't got no green gremlin here.
I don't know what
Yeah.
you're talking about.
Grogu, it's Bean.
Go. Made a mistake. My bad.
My
But
bad.
Dodge, I totally agree with you. Actually, I think a lot of people would agree with you that like even before season 2 came out, like soon after season 1, I think when Ahsoka was in the talks of coming in the first like in like May or something, a lot of people were afraid that it was going to be the Clone Wars and Rebel show in live action. And so I agree, like it's the Mandalorian, okay? Okay. And I just I love all the cute scenes between Din and Yorito. I'm gonna switch it up. You never know which one you're gonna get. But I think it should be about that. Like Sin Cara or like Moff Gideon or Grief are like, it's okay. Of course, they've already been they're established characters, but it's just like, maybe like, with the Boba Fett, that was okay. Like that was chill because like he was there at the end. We don't know what's gonna happen to him, or if it was just like he's saying goodbye to that life. You never know. But I really hope things change up in the third season, and it's just about protecting Bean. But like, I think it's because they felt the need to connect it to Star Wars and like already established Star Wars stuff so bad that they're like, just bring everyone in. And I feel like, because I remember some backlash who were really disappointed in this season, though there is already some backlash about Ahsoka. It should be about the Mandalorian. It would be awesome, just like, if it was this season was Boba Fett and Ahsoka. Bo-Katan definitely needed to be there because like she was the link between him and Ahsoka. But it's like you said, we should like, are we ever gonna talk about like the obvious trauma and like the
that's
issues?
what I'm saying.
So I think though I don't know. It's so hard to tell now. Like the timeline is so weird of this season because there's only 3 episodes left. What I was originally thinking, and I don't know, we'll see with like what happens in the next episode, because I think that's going to give us a more clear picture of like the timeline of the rest of the season. I was thinking like Bo-Katan was probably going to come back because obviously like her storyline is now intertwined with Din's because of Moff. And that when they come back, like that's probably when he's gonna have to like think more about this because he'll face these other Mandalorian again who live so differently than him. So I think because he's like by himself, he's not thinking about it as much. But when Bo-Katan and the rest of her crew come back, he'll be like, dang, my life is a lie. Like,
yeah.
I mean, I've heard like a lot of theories. Some people think that when the child chooses Din, that's when he's going to show his face to the child for the first time. Like, not like take off his helmet, but like show it because he's technically like his son. Like, he accepts him as his son. But that's controversial. Also, I don't know. The thing is I've heard people say that they believe that the Mandalorian's doing a good job of separating like it's the Mandalorian show and like there's no Clone Wars. Like, yeah, there's references, but it's not Clone Wars 2.0 and stuff like that. But also I've seen people say that it's so much like Clone Wars and Rebels. Like, some people disliked Rebels because of how like all the Clone Wars characters came back in the second season, and they were like, it's just like Clone Wars 2.0. So it's kind of like I'm seeing that in The Mandalorian, and I understand that a lot of it is to set up their own personal live action. We've spent so many episodes just getting to know these characters, and then we're wasting. I'm not learning anything about Din. Like, I want to know more about him, and we know nothing.
Give me baby Din.
I'm so frustrated. I was so mad. Like, I was really happy at the episode, but then I like couldn't sleep. I was like, oh my gosh, we have 3 episodes left, and we're gonna have this freaking duel with Moff Gideon, and on top of that, I don't know anything about Din. Like, what's next for him? Are we ever gonna see anything about him? Is he a person? Is he a robot? I don't know.
He's a robot, didn't you know? Pedro Pascal is a robot.
I know.
Also, to mention Moff Gideon, I was surprised because there was a lot of theories that Moff Gideon was going to be in this episode because of the tracker. I was really waiting for him to pull up end of the episode like, sup, you can't get anywhere. Let's go right here, right now.
I thought at the very end of the episode where he was like, I'll go get the child, I was like, oh, he's stolen. He's gone. Never to be seen again. But he wasn't.
Yeah.
I can't lose my lima bean.
I definitely think that there has been a lot of characters that are kind of overshadowing what's going on, but I also am trying to like trust that Dave and John know what they're doing and that, they love the show and they want it to be right. But it's just like, oh my gosh. So, like, I don't know. We all love this show. So it's very scary for us.
John, if you, man, I trust you with my life. You've created Elf. You did the Iron Man series.
I love Iron Man.
Let me tell you how I freaking did not know that John
Neither did
Favreau
I.
did Elf.
Didn't I tell you that? Like,
No, I found out on the TL. Din told us, and I was like, yeah. And then I was like, Dad, did you know this? And my dad was like, of course I do. But yeah, no. So John, I have complete faith in you.
Mhm.
And if you mess this up, I may not know where you live. I may not have any power, but you will feel my wrath.
Oh my god.
Wow.
John is
Powerful message.
co-waking.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure John's and his security guards aren't that worried, but good
They're
to
like,
put out there.
y'all hear that? Hear
Y'all,
that mosquito?
Y'all hear something?
Just-
Yeah, I definitely, I understand those concerns. This season has been a lot of characters that got brought in, and some of them I think were like really obviously like important to the story, because I was expecting like at some point that we would see Bo-Katan, because those are like the main group of Mandalorian we had seen before.
Yeah.
And obviously there were a lot of questions from people who watched Clone Wars and Rebels and stuff about like, why is Din this way when they were that way? So
I mean, that makes sense.
that.
I'm not like necessarily like mad at
Yeah, no.
because I think that's interesting. I think that's a good way to, show Din the other way of Mandalore.
Yeah.
Yeah, I totally believe that Ahsoka and like Bo-Katan were necessary to like push the story forward. But at the same time, as much as they're great characters, I love them. It is Pedro Pascal with the green gremlin. Okay, no one else.
No.
Yeah.
Some people not going to name names. Oscar Isaac might say it should just be the Pedro Pascal show with no green gremlin.
The
But-
hate he has for that kid.
The way that Oscar Isaac hates Go like with a passion, I cannot. Like,
He was the
jealous.
original I can't say anti-Baby Yoda anymore.
you can say
Anti-
anti-Baby Yoda.
Yeah, you guys know what I'm talking about. But if you say it's not Baby Yoda, you will catch these hands. No mercy.
I think that just to make people mad, we should never ever say his name correctly.
Oh, that's good. I need to make a name for him.
Gruel. I'm gonna call him Gruel because like.
What's
just
another
think
word that
that-
starts with G?
Oh no, I
Oh.
forgot his name. Grogu, because like goo.
I want to say him Go-Go.
Go.
The Go-Go dancer.
Gogurt.
Bean, lima bean.
Anything besides the correct,
The troll.
I think is fine.
Little green gremlin.
Mike Wazowski.
Oh my
You can call
gosh.
him that. Great episode.
Yeah, it was beautiful.
It was
It was really.
even if Rose doesn't like it, it was beautiful.
I didn't
Yeah.
say I didn't like it. I just said I couldn't focus.
No, like I can understand that. I just
Yeah.
think like, from like a cinematography standpoint, like it looked really great. Like it visually, you can see that it was Dave Filoni. Like that was
Yeah.
a very Dave episode. Like
In the article, he was saying that he based it off of California fires.
yeah, I saw that.
Dave.
Someone else too. I saw on TikTok. Someone pointed out that it looked a lot like something from Avatar because Dave worked on
Avatar.
The episode where the spirits which spirit? Okay, so
Where
the
he goes to
spirits
spirit realm?
No, yeah, I think he goes to spirit realm for the first time, and like he sees that like force destroyed, and he's like, oh my god. And then like he has to talk to these spirits to, like calm down. I can't believe I
Remember
pulled
that episode,
out.
Kenzie?
I haven't rewatched it.
I know the episode. I know the episode. I can see it in my mind's eye. Do you know the episode I'm talking about, or do you
Yeah,
think
when
I'm
he
crazy?
first goes into the spirit realm, when he finds the faceless spirit that steals your face.
No, not that one.
Oh.
Unless it is that one. I can't really remember. I have to rewatch it. But I can't believe he just modeled it after the California fires. That's
He did. He
that's
said it. In his-
mean.
Like I was kicked out of my house for like 3 falls straight. So I'm
He said,
gonna
California, this is payback. Get it
Yeah.
together, Gavin Newsom. Um,
get it together.
I would just, okay, one thing, another critique of mine, I just would like to know more about the town because obviously we know about the lady. Also, what happened to the lady? Did she die in front of us?
She didn't die in front of us,
Yeah.
But we
we
just
don't-
assume. I'm gonna assume
I
she
don't know if
dead.
Ahsoka would kill her though.
I mean,
Oh my
Ahsoka-
god, Jedi, just what
we
is it with this thing of not killing? Just do it. And
I mean, we saw her kill plenty of people in the forest.
Yeah, but
But I don't know. I have no idea what happened.
well, unless it was like that one, like Count Dooku, I surrender. And she's like, well, okay, I guess since you surrender, I'll let you go. No, just kill the enemy because the enemy will always come back. Learn from mistakes, people. But anyways, okay, I just would like more of an explanation of the town because okay, we kind of understand why the people are so scared of her. It's because you'll be put in this thing that shocks you where you see your skeleton, which technically is that scientifically possible, but and
No.
how she. Okay, good to know.
Nothing in Star Wars is scientifically possible, though. So
I was just wondering if that one scene, okay, Kenzie.
am I gonna have to do another electricity lesson for you guys?
No. But I was just obviously she has this soldiers, but it's just I don't know. It's just
How'd she take over?
I don't like things to not be known. I like to know everything.
Did you
Yeah,
guys
it was a little
the guy that became the head of the town? He was an architect for I think it was Disney World, and it was.
Why'd you say? Oh, I thought you meant in the show. I was also gonna point out. Why'd you say architect like that? Architect.
I was trying to be interesting. You can't really say. Okay, you try to say architect and be interesting.
Okay. So the guy who became the leader of the town was an architect for actually
See,
Walt
you said
Disney.
you did it too.
No, I didn't.
Architect. Thank you guys so much for watching this week's episode. It was this week's Mandalorian episode was very interesting, and I hope you guys got something out of this episode. I got entertained by our many issues and loves about the episode. But thank you so much for listening or watching. If you guys haven't already, please subscribe. We love you guys, and we love to see more people subscribe. Also, thank you for 100 subscribers on YouTube. Thank you. We love you guys. We're excited for this next couple weeks of Mandalorian episodes. And hopefully more new interesting stuff afterwards. But thank you guys so much for listening. Please subscribe, leave a review on Apple Podcasts. If they're 5 stars. If not, ignore what I just said. And continue with your day. But thank you so much for listening. We'll see you guys next week. Bye.
May the force be with you.
This is
the
the
way.
way.